everybody, welcome to round one of the Glass Blown Open. We got the fan voted feature card. We got Big Sexy commentary. Jeremy Koling and myself, Nate Sexton, joining you. And we're excited.
Absolutely excited. This is an awesome event, one of our favorite of the year, and we get to play a brand new course this year, Olpe Lake.
Yeah, hole one, get right into it. We got an island hole, 360 feet. I'm glad they put that little backboard up there.
Yeah, not only do you have the green backstop, but you also have the nice hillside there, so you can really be aggressive this one, try to really sling it into the hillside.
Yeah.
You really just don't want to come short. That's the biggest mistake here. And
yeah,
you know, the green's kind of small left to right, especially on the left side. Favors a nice sidearm or a lefty shot hyzer, but you got plenty of space out there, nothing in the way, just swing one out there wide.
Yeah, this is kind of straight mid-range play. I saw a lot, especially with the tailwind we were playing in on this particular day. So Simon going mid-range there, a little long, but obviously that's the mistake he wants to make, and he has a in the circle or edge of circle putt.
Right, and you get a meter off that wall too, so you don't have a tricky stance, so you can get a little bit of a relief from that. So really is the play if you aren't comfortable with trying to touch it into the green, just slam it into the backside of that.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought process. I'm going Firebird here, just making sure I get behind it. Don't have time to be throwing some kind of a wimpy shot on the first hole. I got to make sure it gets back there and at least hits that wall.
Yeah, you crushed that. That's kind of a long way for the Firebird for me, but I don't really believe that this hole is exactly 360. I feel like it might be closer to 330.
Yeah, you might be right.
Some of these holes are just a bit off in distance, in my opinion, but there's still a really nice shot there just to, again, play the safe thing, just avoid it.
Yeah. Eagle going mid-range as well.
And I just got away from it.
It's a little high.
Yeah, with that wind there pushing in the air, he had way too high. Wind dictated the shot there, he needed to keep that thing much lower.
And he's going to have to play from a drop zone at the beginning of that green bridge, so he's probably got a 150-foot shot from there, from where his next lie will be.
Right. And Ricky returning to the place where he won the World Championships. Happy to be back in Emporia, Kansas.
And he thought, when he let this go, he was worried it was a little too wide, but it actually worked out pretty decent.
He thinks every shot's not perfect. He really has the highest expectations for throws of anyone I know, I feel like.
Eagle really making sure he's not going to come up short.
Oh, wow. That'll be a tester putt for his 4.
Yeah, gave himself a little bit of a tricky putt coming back.
Yeah, downhill. This is just enough downhill that it's really tricky, especially into that wind.
And that OB behind the basket is in your head a little bit. Eagle, not in Eagle's head, because he absolutely nailed that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful putt. Really confident stroke there. Exactly where you want to put the disc. Great putt.
Simon sees what Eagle does, and he likes it.
Yeah. Really nice touch there from Simon. Great birdie. Pretty much how you draw the hole up right
Definitely.
there. Definitely. Oh, no.
I saw what Simon Eagle did. I didn't like it as much. I figured, left side splasher and take my par.
You don't want to get cocky.
And Ricky just a little low, kept the nose down. So Rick and I will have to settle for some pars.
Very surprising. Yeah, you guys actually look like you're dealing with a little bit more wind than some of the earlier cards. This course is really famous for being windy. It's so open. That lake really brings a lot of wind into play.
And the practice rounds, if any of you guys were following along on Instagram or any of the coverage of just kind of the players, I mean, the practice rounds were unbelievable.
Insane.
So even the little bit of wind we had today felt very nice.
Yeah,
comparatively.
It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse.
All right, hole 2, everything short of that road is out of bounds, so you have to clear it. And then you can see this swinging basket, but they actually tethered it down, which was a great decision.
Yeah, swinging baskets are kind of controversial in my opinion, but if you do tether it down, it becomes a lot more standardized for all players. You kind of want everyone to have the same putt, and if the basket's swinging for somebody and not for someone else, it becomes difficult to have that on the national tour stage at least.
Perfect shot by Simon, probably a C-line P2.
Yeah, and I feel like you're probably throwing...
I'm getting after another Firebird.
Maybe a Firebird.
Looks perfect.
Oh!
But it hit the silly little yellow boards.
That is a tough break right there. That was a beautiful shot, and I really like those boards. It's a really nice aesthetic.
They look good, but then when you hit them and skip away, you start to question, what are they really doing for me?
Right. You could have done that.
You could have done that. Good shot by Ricky. Little slower disc, less chance of a big skip. And then Eagle also going putter, just trying to float it down there.
That one a little bit wider than you want and way more skip than you usually would get coming in with that angle with a putter.
Yeah, that tailwind just kind of speeding it up.
And this is a tricky putt.
So I decided to try to get my stroke back. And I
Oh, no!
robbed by a branch. Don't let the branches grow 3 feet from the chains, please.
Oh, that was going in hard. That is a bummer. Oh, that face says it all right there.
Oh, good chain hit though. At least it stops right there instead of going behind the tree or something.
Yeah, Eagle style of putt. He when he doesn't make it, he will have a comebacker.
Yeah,
he will have
Simon
a
as
pretty
well.
considerable comebacker because him and Simon are both pretty direct spin putters that just really like to jam it in there.
Yep. Good birdie by Rick. Eagle taking a par. Nate taking a par somehow after throwing what he felt like were 2 pretty good shots.
That is a tough par to take there.
And then Simon with the easy birdie.
Yeah, that's the putt you want on this hole. It's pretty straightforward. You just really should be sliding one up there. I mean, if you're not inside the circle, then you kind of didn't do something right.
Absolutely.
Unless you hit those boards.
Yeah.
Then in that case, maybe you did something right and just got a bad break.
For sure. Hole 3, our first par 4 of the day. This is tough, man. It's OB both sides. You see the flags on the right, the road on the left. Kind of technical. Obviously, you got a tree tunnel. And then you have to make your decision on the second shot. Are you going to go across this ditch, or are you going to come short of it and get on this green in 3?
Distance is paramount in this hole. You really want to make sure that you get as much off the tee as you possibly can because that approach becomes really tricky. It's a huge risk reward in that second shot if you don't have a clean tee shot.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to throw that far on this hole. You just got to avoid going OB like Simon did there, and that's perfect.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah, really just the name of the game here is get past these first 5 or 6 trees and just somehow avoid skipping OB. And this could be trouble here.
Yeah, Rick put a little bit heavy hyzer on that, ends up skipping out of bounds. The good thing is he has a pretty open lie from over there.
Right. The forehand approach should be pretty open, or maybe even a backhand. But
yeah,
this is kind of, oh, wow.
Yeah, this was
turns
almost
over.
Perfect, but then the one tree that could blocked it. But I'm still pretty happy with that spot. That was my intended play, was flex out towards the road and then control the skip coming back.
I really think that if you hit one of those last trees, and that's a bad break. Eagles off to a rough start so far.
Yeah. But go on. If you hit one of the last trees.
If you hit one of those last trees, it really brings the you still want to go for it.
Yeah.
I feel if you hit one of the early ones, then maybe not so much. But that was actually probably your friend there.
I think I was like, please don't hit the branch. Then I was like, please go in. Then I was like, please don't skip very far.
You can't complain about branches anymore because that immediately helped you out in the very next hole.
Yeah, it was fine. So that shot worked great for me.
Oh, perfect little approach there from Rick.
Yep. Good shot by Rick.
If you're gonna go be on this hole, one of the shots, good to do it on the first shot and then go up and down for your par.
Yes, you're right about that. Eagle juicing it just a little bit, but he ought to be okay.
Yeah, that's inside Eagle 99% range.
And Simon has the easy putter shot after being rewarded for that nice drive.
Yeah, that's the point of this hole. You throw a clean shot off the tee, then you are rewarded. A lot of these holes in this course are quite difficult. Nice putt there for your birdie. Beautiful. A lot of these holes reward you with a really quality tee shot with a much easier approach than other par fours, just because it's the risk reward off the tee.
Yeah.
And, really made that approach easier for Simon there.
But I really like this as a disc golf hole. This particular hole is really makes you think. You know, if you do have that bad drive, you really have a decision to make. Are you going over or aren't you?
Sure.
So I find this to be a pretty fair and fun disc golf hole to play at our level.
It's challenging, but it's not like some unattainable task.
Yep.
It's a great par four hole.
Yep. So we got birdies for Simon and I after we stayed in bounds, and pars for Rick and Eagle. Good saves.
Yeah, good par saves.
Sneaking OB.
Absolutely. That's a good card overall there. You can see a lot worse scores than 2 3s and 2 4s.
Yeah, and now we get to one of Opie's infamous incredibly hard par threes. And this one I'm almost okay with it as a par 3, but it's this, the OB is this cable fence, so it's really narrow, and then you see the flags on top of the ridge. So it's a very, very narrow fairway, especially at 500 plus feet.
510 feet on a place where you're seeing wind 99% of the time, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it looks like Simon is going for the gusto here.
Yeah, he ripped it.
That's wow. He is inside.
He's 30 feet probably.
30 feet. Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. And this hole, it's slightly uphill even. So 510.
Yep.
That's the distance from tee to basket. It plays probably
Yep.
even longer than that.
Yep. I have no designs on twoing this hole. Just trying to play a skip and hit those, not hit those pylons.
Yeah, that was a little bit. That's kind of the sketchy risk you take by playing the skip off the road.
Yeah, but I feel like to try to fly it too. I'm worried it's going to lift up over the berm, you know. So it scares me to think about throwing it up the middle too.
Yeah, over that berm there's water too. So if you do go over there, it's not just about going OB. You actually probably lose your disc as well.
Yes, definitely. Rick puts it about 60 short. A fantastic shot.
Yeah, that's a smart play here. I bet Eagle's probably trying to go for it.
Yeah, you might think he would do that.
He throws far.
He hung this pretty wide though. He's going to need a big skip.
Oh no. Looks like he had the same distance, if not more, than Simon, just a bit too wide, and he's reteeing.
He just said, I want to retee. So he trusted his discs.
Wow.
And he didn't move up the 30, 40 feet he could have moved up.
This can be bad if he doesn't get this one in.
Yeah, definitely bringing a 7 into play, but
That's much better. And oh my goodness, did he put it in the freaking...
it's like 5 feet away, so.
Unreal.
Pretty incredible.
Oh yeah, we better get a FollowFlight here, because this
with
is...
the extra heat, the red. I haven't seen the spicier color, the flight follower yet. That's coming out with speed.
Oh man,
and he even
he
hit the cable.
one of the cables. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. You're not going to see it better. I'm going to call this a party. This is between par and birdie.
Yep.
That's well, no, it wouldn't be a birdie.
Yeah, he's taking a 4, but it's a fantastic.
I guess that would be a bogey.
Yeah, sure, that's fair.
Yeah, or a bar. But either way, it's it plays like a par 4. There was
Rick giving it a buzz in the tower a little bit.
Yeah. And this is just an awesome opportunity to gain a stroke on the entire field.
Maybe a little more than 30 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Greens it. So that's a 4 down through 4 start, and really more like 4.5 down.
Yeah, that's 4.5 down for sure. And I just don't really see why this one would be called a par 3, but that's maybe something I'll be talking about a bunch, but we'll see. But yeah, it's still an awesome 2. The only 2 of the round for the entire field.
Except Jennifer Allen.
Okay, I did not know that. Wow, Jennifer Allen threw it.
Yeah.
So there was one male, one female too for the day.
Yeah, I heard she threw in from about 130, 140.
That sounds like a throw-in for Eagle.
Pretty fantastic too. So Simon with an amazing 2, and we got a quick commercial break. Welcome back. Hole 5, Germ. It's a treacherous one.
Yeah, the first peninsula onto the rocks, 330 feet or so. Yeah, and it plays, I feel like it plays maybe like 350.
Yeah, and there's no shortage of wind.
Never. It really, even in the calmest conditions, you're still going to be dealing with the wind coming off the lake. And so this one really becomes a mental challenge of what are you going to throw? The disc selection here is the most important thing, and the second most important thing is just committing.
Yep. Simon goes big hyzer, sticks the green.
Yep.
Probably 35 feet.
Yeah, you just want to be in the short rocks. The big rocks are... You're going to have a pretty tricky stance.
And you might bounce OB.
Yeah, and you don't want to bring those into play. So the short rocks are key here. Also, I feel like they do less damage to your discs than the big rocks for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That was perfect. What'd you throw there?
X-Cal. Brand new X-Cal.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I just played it really wide because we had a bit of a left to right wind. So I feel the backhands are going to be dropped by the wind and the forehand's going to get lifted. So Ricky's backhand here not going to swing quite as much as it might usually, and then you can even see that little reverse skip. That's a wind-aided reverse skip.
Sure. I feel like you almost want to bring a backup disc just for this and a couple of the other rocky green holes.
Yeah. I mean, I just figure I got to throw the disc that's going to do the best job.
Oh, wow.
Man, Eagle just a little long.
He's just waiting to get off the skid here. He's just kind of...
Yep.
Slow start, and this is kind of surprising because this is a course I really feel like Eagle has a really big advantage with these really long par threes.
Yep.
But
out of bounds, the great equalizer. Simon getting a little frisky there, airballed the putt, and he's got a similar length putt coming back.
yeah, that's his first misstep there.
Ricky drills it, a beautiful putt.
It's such a thing of beauty, man. No one else has that flight for their putt.
Yep.
No one.
Yep.
No one putts that way.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
so
little-
awesome to watch.
Yep.
Impossible to emulate, I feel like. Oh.
At least there he caught a little metal, so
Yeah, double misstep.
he should be able to collect his bogey.
Nice little tap in. That's what you want on this one.
Yeah, I was real happy with that. Get my first 2 of the round. And eagle.
Not the putt you want for bogey.
Yeah, but he hit it at least.
Yeah, it's a good putt. You just. Oh.
Whoa. I didn't notice that at the time. Another disadvantage of the rock greens.
Whew, I hope that didn't really twinge anything.
He didn't,
tweak
he
anything.
didn't mention anything, so I got to think he felt okay.
It looked so awkward. I'm sorry. That's just not what you want. You're tapping in a bogey, and then you just get up to the green and
Yeah.
tweak your ankle a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I hope that they will put bark chips on those
In the future, yeah. That was the only advice that I gave back to Jeremy Rusco. Is I feel like you should have a 10-meter circle to land on with mulch.
Yeah. Here's another incredibly long par 3 with some out of bounds. So you see the cable line on the right, and then the flags, and then that pallet fence right behind the green is also OB. You have a little bit more room to the left.
Yeah,
but
there's
it's a tight green.
There's still OB on the left. If you try to turn something over and it fades out a bit too soon, but yeah, there's just a lot of things going on here for me to call this one a par 3 as well.
Too many things going on for me to think about throwing anything but a forehand and just playing for a 3.
Right. This is a hole that you're not going to see many 2s ever on this hole, and it's really just I don't know in any situation why somebody would even really try to go for it. I mean, I guess you can give yourself a long look at it and maybe get some miraculous long jump putt in.
Yeah.
But really, I guess all there is to this one is just pitching up 450 feet if you can off the tee.
Yeah. Ideally, you would hope if you want a 550-foot par 3, which is okay.
Yeah.
You'd hope there's not much OB.
Right.
Because you're kind of, you can have 2 of the following 3 things: 550 feet,
Right.
a bunch of OB,
Right.
or par 3.
Right.
You choose 2.
Yeah, right. You can choose 2 of those things. Yeah, it's asking a lot here, but you see Simon and Eagle not even going for this one.
Yep.
And
yeah.
I mean, those are the 2 most aggressive, longest throwing players on tour.
Yep.
And they're throwing hyzers off the tee.
Yeah, I think Macbeth and Geisinger both had deuce putts, but neither connected.
Right. Geisinger, Macbeth, and Koling.
Koling as well.
Koling,
Yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, he's one of those guys you can never tell what he's going to do next.
Never. He's kind of unpredictable.
So I'm just doing what I do here, just kind of pitching up a Firebird for a little skip.
There you go. Inside the mulch there is pretty good.
Can't really attack this too much because there's OB right behind it. So Simon's just going to play a layup.
Yeah, you're kind of playing the odds there if you do try to run out. I'm pretty sure Geisinger's putt 4-2 actually went past the basket and went through that grate back there and ended up getting a 4.
He told me he skipped off the top and went through the pallets.
That's just a bad
So,
break.
Brutal.
But
this is what this hole is going to produce for top level golfers is a bunch of drives.
Yep.
Jump putt layup type things and tap in threes.
Coming in with different ways of getting to the green. I could actually see on a calm day somebody going roller.
Yep.
There's plenty of space up high.
But there's just too much OB.
It's just too many different places where that disc can go. So,
But yeah, a couple threes for everybody. So I mean, we're all happy with that. It's just a hole you gotta get through. And move to the next one.
avoid the 4s.
Yep.
And certainly avoid anything higher than a 4.
Yep. Here's the kind of the one hole with this sort of feel at this
Right.
course. It's kind of got a little Northern California look to it. There's
Yeah.
a ton of trees. The palette here is not OB. The road on the right is, and also obviously the water on the left. There's actually a painted line down the entire left, and I think if you're about 20 feet past the American flag palette, you're OB there as well.
Right, there's OB long as well. And yeah, I'm glad you said Northern California, not North Carolina, because North Carolina wouldn't leave that one tree in the middle that you see there.
Yeah, this is Northern California.
Yeah, there's a lot of trees here. I feel like the safest route for the sidearm is the route that you see you and Ricky going for.
Yep.
You still can hit trees, and that's just freaking parked. Even with the pro backsman, that's perfect.
Yep, he bounced it off the pallet. I thought my shot was perfect, but there's a lot of lucky trees down in there at the end.
I think that. Oh no! Early.
Stop. So that stayed in bounds, but
wow,
maybe
that's
by
close.
3 feet.
Wow, that is close to OB over there. When I see this one, I see just go straight at it and just avoid that one tree in the middle. But it really is the best way to play this hole is that wide sidearm.
And those are, I mean, Eagles skipped within
Inches.
a foot of OB.
Yeah.
You know, so it's scary, but that's the perfect play.
Yeah, I agree with that. And there's still tons of trees in the way, as you see, because that's the route that you'd be taking if you went sidearm, is out that wide route.
Yeah.
But there's just, the way that it's set up, there's just a better chance of getting through it than going down the middle.
Simon probably from 60 to save his 3, and that's not going to be an easy bogey to swallow on this short hole.
Yeah, bogey, par bogey.
Yeah.
After the 5-down start, it's a tough one.
Actually, that wasn't a putt that bothered me too much. I mean, obviously want to make it, but it felt like it came out of my hand really clean and had good spin. So it's kind of like I can almost take a positive away from that from 40 feet and go, okay, good, I can make the next one.
Yeah, you can learn from that one. That wasn't just like a complete missed throw. It's just just barely off from that distance is acceptable.
Yep, and some tap-in birdies here for Rick and Eagle, so nicely done by them.
I really like those grades behind the basket. The USA, it's just cool.
It's cool.
It's cool to look at.
Yeah.
It's a nice little bit of extra effort there by the staff.
Yeah. This one is pretty tough. We got a pure par 4 here. 740 feet, OB both sides, water in play at the end. You pretty much just have to play. Most players are going to see a big backhand hyzer and then a medium backhand hyzer.
Yeah, this is a long one, so it does take 2 quality shots. The tree right off the tee pad to the right stops the players from going super wide hyzer, so you kind of have to throw more of almost like a flex hyzer just to be safe, and really swing it out over OB, and don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Rick swung it out too wide, and he's going to lose about every bit of 300 feet of distance by the time he gets back to the place where that crossed.
Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, that really is the play, though. You want to swing it out wide, because if you go left, you can see how close that one was to going OB left.
Yeah.
So going that side of the tree, the right side of the tree, and over the OB field to the right is really the play for a right-hand player.
That's what I'm doing here, going right side of the... Oh, never mind.
Okay, early release program.
I meant to go around the tree, but luckily I got kind of a soft skip, and I'm super short of where I want to be, but I'm still in play.
Yeah, you're in bounds, that's fine, but yeah, you're going to make your approach closer to 380. Which is
probably more than that.
Yeah, more than you want.
Yeah.
That looks textbook.
This is perfect. Big shot from Simon.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that is so far. So he's past that ditch. He's probably 200 feet left to the pin.
Yeah.
That's a monster drive.
Yeah, Rick is too far to go for the pin from here, so he's just got to play a big hyzer, get down safe, and he's going to have to take a bogey most likely.
That is a awesome piece of footage right there to watch for players that need to learn how to take their pill.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, he could have gone all out there to try to save his par.
Yeah.
And he's the best player in the world, and he thought about it and said, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and pitch up.
Yeah.
And take your 5.
Yeah, this shot was every bit, I think, of 425 feet.
Oh, wow.
And I got another nice soft skip, and I was really, really happy to be on the green after that kind of weak drive.
Yeah, that's really great. And actually, just looking at that footage, that was the first time that I noticed that there was OB to the left.
Oh, yeah, the water is right there.
As close as it is. That's really close. That's within the 10-meter circle.
Probably close to 10 meters, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Eagle perfection right there with his mid-range.
That was a mid-range?
I believe so. It looked like one.
Wow.
And this is a putter.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's putter range for Simon all day.
Yeah.
Making that look so much easier than it is.
Yep.
But that's what you get with that big tee shot. You give yourself the opportunity to throw that putter.
Ricky for par, trying to put it up here close.
And that's his harp that he's been throwing for a couple years now that he loves. He leans on that thing so much.
Yeah.
Really great disc. And nice clean-up birdie.
Yeah, I was really happy to get that birdie because it felt like I was going to be struggling from the spot I put my tee shot. Simon with a textbook birdie, and Eagle doing the same. Both of those guys with a big arm off the tee, and Rick with the disappointing bogey here. But at least he played it smart, like you
Yeah.
said. He made the bogey easy on himself. If you go for too much, that could get ugly.
I mean, even let's just say he went for that shot and he executed his shot to try to save par and he got his par. The stress that goes into that can play a big toll on the rest of the round.
Yeah.
To avoid the stress, it saves you strokes throughout the course of the round.
I agree. This was a tough green, man. This one has a lot more OB than I thought. When we played it in the wind, I was just sort of like shocked by how windy it was and not paying enough attention to where the lines were. But once I got up here, there's OB probably within 7 or 8 meters long of the basket.
Yeah.
And then probably 11, 12 meters left.
Yeah, it certainly gets tighter up by the basket. And there's OB on the right side and left side. It keeps you honest. You can't just throw a shot and we'll just see where it goes. You have to really methodically go for this one. And that was well done.
Yeah, that's a PD. That's
That
Eagle.
was awesome.
Eagle ripping a PD all the way down there.
365 maybe played a bit longer.
I think a little longer.
Yeah, I felt like I had to throw almost all of it for a sidearm to get there.
Yeah.
In my practice round, I actually played there when it was a little bit calmer than when you and Paul played there with the infamous rollback putt that Paul had.
Yeah.
But I was throwing everything I had to get there. It's pretty far. I would say it's probably plays closer to 380.
Yep.
Which isn't that big of a difference, but it can be depending on what those two chose.
Stop. Oh, Simon stops nicely before that ditch.
And there you can see why Simon can throw so far. You see how much spin he has on the disc. It is more than anyone else. That thing is just rotating wildly.
Yeah. And Rick, this seemed a little low. He's going to need to control the skip.
Yeah, that's going to skip fast. That needs to sit.
Oh, no way.
My goodness.
I did not know that did that.
Wow. That is a very interestingly tough break.
Yeah. Wow.
He's still within about 15 meters or so for his par. Oh my goodness.
That one surprised me. I thought he had made that. I mean,
Double
he
bad
looked like he
break.
deserved to.
Yeah, that's just a tough one.
Simon, a little annoyed to be high there.
He's just annoyed to miss a putt.
That's true.
He doesn't really miss them. And a very nicely done birdie there.
Yeah, I was happy. It almost was kind of a blessing in disguise. The last hole that I forced myself to throw such a long upshot because then I got to this hole with my arm just kind of freshly feeling what it felt like to throw that line.
Sure. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to throw a shot knowing that in a couple holes or maybe the next hole you'll be throwing a similar shot
It just
just
has
to
to
warm
feel
it
the
up.
same way. Yeah.
Yeah. Simon's there just contemplating how he could have possibly missed the putt.
Yep.
It happens, Simon. I know it doesn't happen very often. But
Yeah. Another thing that doesn't happen very often is Rick taking back-to-back bogeys. Pretty
Yeah.
crazy way to finish that front nine, but you can bet he's going to be back with a vengeance
Oh, yeah.
when we join you guys again for the back nine.
yeah, he's still a world champion and #1 player in the world for a reason.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, and tune back in for the exciting finish to this round.